What is it like to be a part of this family? It has a lot of meaning to me. I was one of the very first people cast on the show, and right from the get-go, I knew I was a part of something special. My name is Kenneth Alexander Mitchell III. We joke around on set with Jonathan Frakes. He likes saying all three names, and I always go, the third. I play 4 different characters on Star Trek Discovery, and I voiced a couple of things on the animated series. I played Klingon General Leader Cole. I played his father, Cole Shaw. I played Tanavik, the keeper of the time crystals.
The pillar of the past.
And I played Aurellio, brilliant scientist who worked for the chain.
I cannot believe this is 900-year-old technology.
I've been in the business for 31 years, and I've never worked with somebody with such spirit and tenacity.
I was lucky in season 1 when James asked me to lead the makeup. I did 2 characters with Kenneth, have him in the chair and experience how into the character he was and how much he wanted to make the performance come through the makeup. I mean, I love him.
Speak louder, right?
And just to see him up there and bring that character to life was so great.
Who is that? You speak Klingon. Show yourself!
Your instinct on television is to be small and the camera will pick up your emotions, but in this case, you really need to go bigger, almost like a stage play or an opera, to really emote and get your emotions across. I kind of tried to give him a physicality, like give myself permission to tilt my head the odd time and move my hands to really make gestures. And I think that really helped, bring his power across.
I was actually thinking about the very first moment that I heard Ken speak as Cole. Ken and Shahzad and I met at Shahzad's apartment, and I think maybe we ran it once in English just to be like, okay, that's the scene. And they're like, okay, well, let's just stand it up and play around and use our Klingon voices.
George!
Ken just starts, oh, wait, the Cole voice.
George became Dudwich for off in the Jech and Dakar Giorgio Beckley's Crunjowe Mark Mochmechbach.
Cole is like,
You wish to meet your death as your captain did. Well, I admire your loyalty. I accept your challenge, human.
and then Cole Shaw, he would say those same lines. He'd be more like,
I admire your loyalty.
and I accept your challenge.
Human.
Now, there's some distinctions in there.
As you see in the show with Cole Shaw, Tanavik, all of the characters that he's created in the Klingon world are so distinct and so very Klingon in their own beautiful way.
Star Trek. It's been there for me.
I'm not going to abandon the things that make me who I am because of a future that contains an ending I hadn't foreseen for myself.
I honor you, Captain.
In 2018, I was diagnosed with ALS. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. It is a neurodegenerative disease, which affects your motor neurons. And they are dying off. And They affect your ability to use your body muscles, including your diaphragm and your throat. So I have experienced so much emotionally and physically. Over the last 2 years.
He's inspiring us, the way he's handled it, with such love and light and gratitude. You know, I think we all watch and we can only hope to, you know, be like that one day. And, you know, we love the fact that he's been able to come back and do what he loves and do what he's been gifted to do.
Play file 73 for Invigilator Aurellio.
Thank you.
We really wanted to bring him back this season. It was just a matter of finding the right thing for him. By the time we were able to bring him on in the character of Aurellio, it was a bit more challenging for him to walk by that point. And there was no hesitation on this end. The question was just, how do we make this possible for Ken? I'm so proud of the response of everyone on our production team in Toronto. Mario, our props guru, came out to Los Angeles and worked with Ken in person so that we could custom build a wheelchair that would allow him to get around on set and be this character and just focus on playing the character and doing what he needed to do emotionally as Aurellio.
So, Michelle and Tunde, just imagine I'm not here.
When the VFX is done, it'll look like it's floating.
I knew that I wanted him more eye level as opposed to what we see as traditional wheelchairs. So I pushed for this more of a standing position, and that led to some challenges. Balance.
A lot of pressure on my shins against it, so I feel like throughout the day
you'll start going down.
Right. Start to maybe hurt.
One of the main features about it is that it actually is custom designed to Kenneth Mitchell's shape. I took a skeleton frame of this shape to a scan facility, and he sat in that chair. We did some adjustments, made sure it was sort of comfortable, and actually scanned him in that frame. And then we modeled the prop. What we discovered at that meeting was the more he was cinched into the chair, the more comfortable it was. So we actually built the rig, the upper part here, around a Steadicam rig. So when you see Steadicam operators really cinching themselves in to hold the camera rigs on, this is all that piece. So this all cinches in around him, tucks him right up and in, and then all these pieces are just built to his legs, and they push him right back up and in.
We're in. Okay, you are secure.
And then we've got a little air plug here, and that pumps up the back. So it gives him a nice tight squeeze there on the lower lumbar and into the stomach.
Lumbar.
Lumbar support time.
We were afforded the time by production to really get it right. So we actually had multiple fittings with him in the chair as it was being painted, as it was being, wired up. We were able to learn a lot of things through those fittings on comfort level. Just getting his hands to the right distance from where his elbows were was a little bit of trial and error, but he's now able to sit in this thing for most of the day.
All right, let's go on set.
Okay, one sec.
Just gotta pull it in.
Well done, team.
Cheers.
Hey, team Aurellio.
We'll use less people next time. Kenneth named the chair Frakes.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
He wanted to be back on the show and recognizable as himself. I think so his kids could see him. And he's a fabulous actor. And he's so handsome. And it's so great to see him without all that plastic on his head.
You communicate with the spores. That's how you navigate the mycelial network, isn't it?
His name is Hugh. He's still inside the Berube Nebula.
It's really special. And he's a wonderful actor, and to get the chance to see his face and his eyes as they look, not covered.
I'm gonna remove the neural locks. There's no need for such things among scientists. It makes it hard for me to ask you questions.
When I read that script and I learned that he was playing that role, I just felt so fortunate that I got to play those scenes with him. And it also says so much to me about Alex Kurtzman as a human being, with his sense of loyalty, his sense of integrity.
I won't let it happen, Osira.
He did a wonderful job. It keeps coming back to the same theme, which is you make connections with your cast members and then you figure out how to build them and the things that they are into the stories and into the characters they play. Ken is heroically managing with ALS, and we talked about differently abled representation on screen, and we thought, let's build that into a character. And how interesting that when you think of the future where you imagine there's no disease in the future, right? That medicine has reached a place where you can cure anything, that there still may be things that have to be faced down.
It's not lost on me that the themes of the show of hope and discovery, inclusion, love, that's where my life sits right now with science. And I feel like I'm surrounded by this incredible blanket of love and support and warmth. And I am proud to collaborate with all of these people and to give back.
The man is brilliant. He's a brilliant pal. He's a brilliant friend. He's a brilliant husband. He's a brilliant actor. And the brilliance that he brings to the television is unforgettable.
If you take the crystal, your fate will be sealed forever. You speak Klingon. Show yourself.
I'm very, very lucky to call him my friend.
Just as a person in the world, he means a lot to all of us. We really love him and value him, not just as an artist for what he brings onto the screen, but for the person that he is. And the way he's been moving through this massive shift in his own life is, I mean, I don't even know the words for it. He's just, he's moving through it in ways that I don't know that I would be. The strength that it takes to do that just in himself and with a family and kids.
I wanted to tell a story about my son. Son's name is Callum, and my daughter is Lila. They too have been introduced to the Star Trek world. Seeing their dad plaster up Klingon all over the house so he can memorize his lines, and my son mimicking the sounds. He'd be like, wielding a foam batleth that we have around the house. But it's been really beautiful seeing their connection to Star Trek as well, and the meanings and the themes behind it. Think about live long and prosper. What does it mean? And my son and I would say that to each other right before bed. When I got diagnosed with ALS, I still would walk my son to school every day. Yeah, the poor fella, I mean, he's too young to fully understand, and that's okay. It's, I would say goodbye to him and hug him at the door, and he would go put his stuff in the cubby. And you would always run over to the window. And I'd meet him there. We'd put our hands up on the glass and say, live long and prosper. And smile. He'd go back to school. And I'd walk home with a heart full of love. Sometimes there'd be tears, but that's okay. It gives me hope. Children are so beautiful that way. Star Trek gives me hope. I love it so much. There's so much hope and fight out there and inspiration that I soak it all up. And every once in a while, I will adhere to the Klingon culture and philosophies. Which is, today is a good day to die. But I think that really means is just, fill yourself with honor and face the moment fearless and with love and passion. And so even though those two things, live long and prosper and today is a good day to die, there's a dichotomy between the two of them. Somehow I feel part of both of them.